Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a video where we'll be discussing some things that we learned from Barcelona's play from a tactical standpoint, and we'll also discuss this shambolic display from this referee that we have seen. But before we get into all of that, please do subscribe to the channel, as that will be helping us a lot to get the channel to grow. And also join the family. We upload at least 3 times a week where we mainly focus on tactical analysis from FC Barcelona. Let's get right into the video. It is sad that Barcelona as a team never really has some luck with these referees, yet we are the ones who are accused of a referee scandal. It is absolutely shameful that we are the ones who have suffered over the years from referee decisions. Last year we only got one penalty that Lewandowski missed. We don't ever get penalties. When last have you seen Barcelona get a penalty? Yet we've won the league, we've won the Supercopa de España, we've achieved some great things without referees. But we are the ones that are accused of buying referees to officiate the game in our favor. However, if you look at this referee this weekend, he was absolutely shameful. He was absolutely shameful. We saw that Getafe did nothing to actually compete with Barcelona. They did nothing. They came to really injure our players, and yet Barcelona players are the ones who get frustrated and they get red carded before Getafe players. Look at that Damien, that right back. What on earth is he doing on the pitch? Where do Spain even get these referees? I mean, come on, it's a shame that we have to suffer every time from these referees. Yeah, we could have played better, but I mean, the refereeing didn't help either. But let me touch on Rafinha's red card. I know it's an elbow, I know he got frustrated, but I don't really blame him. But at the same time, he got a straight red card. I don't even know if Rafinha got like a yellow card first, but it was a straight red card. So if you get a yellow card and they give you the second one is not a yellow card, and then 2 yellow cards equals a red, it was a straight red. So even if you do get a yellow card and you do another foul and the ref gives you another red card straight, then that cancels out the yellow card. So then you get a 2 or 3 game ban. But that challenge was not worth a straight red card. So even if he did get a yellow card, it was a straight red. And I'm sorry, that if it was a second yellow and then a red card, then I would have understood. But it was a straight red, and that's not worth it. But that's besides the point. I don't really want to talk about that anymore. Let's talk about how Barcelona was really struggling against Getafe. So let's see what was wrong or things we learned. Of course, the first thing that I learned at least from this game, is that we don't need to play with 4 midfielders every game. By the way, why are we playing with 4 midfielders against Getafe? It's not like these guys are going to be good in the midfield or trying to overload. They actually played with 5 defenders. So that means they wanted us to play centrally. And I was surprised when I saw that Frenkie was on the left wing invert. So he was like a false winger. Why did we need 4 midfielders? I think Xavi was really conflicted between picking either Gundogan or Frenkie de Jong, right? Because he wants to have Oriol Romeo in this position so that he can learn to play there. He's really a very robust midfielder. So he didn't want to choose between Frenkie and Oriol Romeo. Of course, we do need Frenkie because he's very important in the build-up when he actually drops like in a double pivot. Xavi wants to secure the build-up play because that is how Barcelona is. And so that really left him with either Gundogan or Pedri, right? So that is why he chose the team like this. And we didn't really need it. He could have put either Gundogan or Pedri on the bench, and I think it should have been Gundogan, right? Play with Oriol Romeo, Frenkie de Jong and Pedri with one guy. Now that is nothing, right? At least then Balde should be the one who should be like right up here trying to hold the width. But Balde's average position, I'm going to show it to you in a second, he didn't use it really. He wasn't there. So let's look at Balde's average positioning. Look at where Balde's average position is. He's really in line with Ronald Araujo. So they were pretty much equally attacking, where you would expect Balde to be round about here, so to keep the width. That is the whole point of us overloading the midfield so that he can go much forward. So honestly, I don't see the point where Xavi wanted to start all of these midfielders. Like I say, he was a little bit conflicted, and Xavi needs to try and offend some people. By leaving them on the bench, if he has to offend them, then he has to do it because he's the manager at the end of the day, right? As we know by now that this is Barcelona's really the average shape when we have the ball in the opposition half, right? We have our 2 attacking midfielders. We have Robert Lewandowski, of course. But in this game, we saw Ilkay Gundogan a little bit more deeper, and you will see now on the average positioning where Pedri was a little bit higher. And I have a problem with this personally because our dictator Pedri is not really on the ball. He's way too forward. You want Pedri in this position over here, close to these guys, in order so that they can really dictate the play. But Pedri was way too forward, you know. In my opinion, he's the guy that dictates the play. So that's why Barcelona's possession was like really scrappy and it was not really going anywhere, right? So otherwise you would, and Ronald Araujo was really way forward here. So you had Jules Koundé, Christensen, and Ore Romeo, guys that isn't really good on the ball. Those are the guys that spend the most time on the ball. They had the most passes and the most touches. Where in actuality, you wanted to be Ilkay Gundogan or Pedri, right? So Pedri's positioning was way too high. And if you look closely, I will show you again the positioning now that Rafa was right really here. Now I don't know if the average positioning is like that because he runs from out to in, you know, to get on the ball. But his positioning was in the half space. Balde was really over there. So Barcelona really, we only had two forwards. This is why I was so against the fact that Gavi or Pedri in this case are playing in that position, because we need to have more attackers on the pitch, guys. If this was like a Fati or Ferran Torres, we would have been stretching these guys. If we don't have our players in their positions, these defenders can come out and block us. That's why Getafe was doing such a great job at really like frustrating Barcelona, because our guys wasn't really well positioned. And the tiki-taka way is priding themselves on position, right? Look at how both of Gundogan and Frankie de Jong are next to Ore Romeo. And look at Pedri. Pedri is like a second striker, right? There was too much space between our midfielders. And look at Rafinha. He's also like in the half space. So it was just a whole mess in terms of positioning. Also, look how we used the left wing more than we did the right wing. And Balde didn't even go for it. You just saw at his average positioning. Rafinha was on the right side, and still, even though we used the left wing more than the right wing produced more with Rafinha and Lamine Yamal than the left wing did. That just shows Barcelona's left wing has been dead for years now. So we really need to put some respect on Jordi Alba's name, because he's been holding that left wing down for years now, maybe since like Neymar. We've never had a real proper left winger since Neymar. But do let us know your comments down below. What do you think about Barcelona? Nothing was really right in this game, so really can't judge our season based on this one game. But we do have some things that needs to be addressed. We do need things that needs to improve from Barcelona's perspective. And like I've been saying, that left wing position where there's a midfielder does not work for Barca, period. And don't think I'm trying to bash Xavi. I'm just looking at the facts, guys. I'm just looking at what is in front of me. But do let me know, what do you think about Xavi's performance as a manager? Do subscribe to the channel and stay safe. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.